Hey lunatics, what's up? It's Asylum Reviews here, coming at you guys with my 205 Live and NXT review for the March 12th and March 13th episode of 2019. So for 205 Live, we're pretty much wrapping up this tournament for the Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania, and we are getting two huge matches for this show. Last week we had Cedric Alexander defeating Akira Tozawa, and then we had Oni Lorcan defeating Humberto Carrillo to advance to the tournament. And now for this week, we're getting Cedric Alexander taking on Oni Lorcan, first time ever these guys have ever fought. And we're also getting Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. And I'm surprised that Gulak and Nese actually main evented the show rather than Cedric Alexander and Oni Lorcan. But anyways, so let's get into the review. So Drew Gulak opens up the show from the backstage area, normally where Drake Maverick is at, and he says that the semifinals of the tournament is people's favorite, before he calls out Tony Nese for always choking in the big spot. "I own Tony Nese," growls Gulak. He promises to tap Nese out. Nese is elsewhere cutting his own promo. He says that in the past, Gulak has dissected every little mistake he has made. "You have no idea what I'm willing to do to go to WrestleMania," says Nese. And then we go from a promo from Drew Gulak to Tony Nese to Lorcan to Cedric Alexander, and then before the first match even comes on, we get a promo from Buddy Murphy. So we just get promo after promo after promo after promo after promo. So we get the promo from Oni Lorcan. He says he commends Cedric Alexander for his experience and his achievements within the division. Lorcan claims it is nothing personal, but he would do whatever it takes to get through Alexander and head to WrestleMania. And then finally we get a promo from Alexander. He calls Lorcan a bad man, but reminds him that the division runs through him, and tonight is the first step to retaking his throne. They show a video from Cruiserweight Champion Buddy Murphy, who is in his hometown Melbourne, Australia, and he claims that he congratulates the four competitors in the semifinals, and he's complimenting each man for their accolades. He says, "No matter who wins, you just can't stop the unstoppable." Cedric Alexander is on his way out for the evening's first bout, and Oni Lorcan comes out. So we get into the match. There's a lot to go over here. I mean, I don't know if you want to go over this entire thing. This is, okay. I'll try to read this as quick as I can, because this might take a while. So we tie up. Alexander forces Lorcan into the corner, but the referee breaks it up. Second tie-up, or Lorcan takes advantage with the hammerlock. Alexander escapes the hold, headlock from Lorcan. Alexander tries to bounce him off the ropes, but Lorcan keeps him applied. Both men get back into their feet. Alexander attempts a crescent kick, but Lorcan ducks. Lorcan lands the first strike, chopping Alexander in the chest, was, by the way, was fucking brutal. A big uppercut from Lorcan. Alexander answers back with the dropkick. He lays into Lorcan's chest with the chops and uppercuts of his own. He tries for the lumbar track early, but Lorcan lands in a few elbows, followed by the running lariat, and he retakes control. Lorcan wears Alexander down with the waistlock. He hits Alexander with the running knee to the gut, and he more chops his chest. Abdominal stretch from Lorcan. Alexander escapes, but gets caught into the stretch again with an attempting clothesline. Alexander counters an underneath strike and rolls Lorcan up. Oni follows up with a kick out, but he walks into a combo from Cedric Alexander. Signature handspring enziguri from Alexander. He strains together some offense, ending with a step-through flatliner, pin attempt, but Lorcan kicks out at two. Alexander sends Lorcan up on the top rope. He goes for a superplex, but Lorcan shoves him off, misses the dive, and hits a running blockbuster. And by the way, Cedric sold the shit out of this fucking blockbuster. It literally looked like he landed on his neck, but I thought he was legitimately hurt from that. But thank God he's not. But I'm telling you, he sold the shit out of that fucking blockbuster from Oni Lorcan. My God, man, I thought he was hurt from that. Lorcan gets a 2 count. He goes for the half-and-half suplex, but Alexander has it scouted. He switches behind, he goes for the lumbar check, but his back gives out due to the damage that Lorcan caused to it. Another combo from Alexander, but Lorcan catches him in the half-and-half. Alexander kicks out. Lorcan can't believe it. He lays into Alexander with another series of uppercuts. He charges Alexander to the ropes, but he moves. Both men are now on the apron. A running clothesline from Alexander, and Lorcan hits the apron hard. Back into the ring, the Michinoku driver, but Lorcan kicks out. He gets the shoulder up. Alexander with some trash talk, kicking Lorcan into the back, into the apron. Springboard attempt, but Lorcan surprised him with the uppercut. Alexander's on the top rope, and all of a sudden, Lorcan Oney Lorcan comes up with the half-and-half suplex from the top rope, turning Alexander inside out. Alexander landing literally on his fucking hip, on his midsection. It looked pretty devastating. And he goes in for the pin, but Alexander yet again kicks out at 2. So Lorcan tries to end it here. He picks Alexander up, but he slaps him. That then fires up Alexander. Lorcan fires back with 3 stiff slaps of his own. He tries to run away for Larry, but Alexander pulls him right back from his tights and hits the lumbar check, and he picks up the win with the 1, 2, 3. And Cedric Alexander is now in the finals of the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. He will be headlining next week. Or is it 2 weeks? No, it's 2 weeks. No, it's actually next week. My bad. It's next week. I'm thinking of the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic, whatever. But we'll get into that when we get to talk about it. But yes, it'll be next week. The finals will be next week. Cedric Alexander is part of it, and then we'll get into the other one just right now. Alexander poses, he points to the WrestleMania sign. The commentary team gives us the updated bracket. Flashback to last week's episode when Mike Kanellis destroyed the local competitor Colby Carino before the bell even rang. We're backstage and we get Mike and Premier Kanellis talking with Drake Maverick. Mike says that he has trained and wrestled all over the world and has been around this business for 16 years. He's paid his dues, shouts Kanellis. I've deserved better. Drake Maverick agrees and says that next week he will be facing one of the best cruiserweights in the world. I wonder who that could be. Maverick warns Kanellis that he better take next week's opportunity very seriously because he might not get another one after. And Mike and Maria walk off. We get a quick iPhone promo from Arya Daivari. He says that he's not in the championship tournament because he was handcuffed to talents that were taught lesser than him. But he promises that in the next year he's going to cause havoc in every turn. Tony Nese is on his way out, which means it's main event time. And out comes Drew Gulak. So right away, Gulak applies the headlock. He forces Nese into the corner. Nese responds by countering into an arm drag. He hits Gulak with the big elbow, a middle rope moonsault attempt from Nese, but Gulak avoids it and he nearly locks in the Gulak, but Nese rolls to the outside. We're back into the ring and Nese takes Gulak with the armbar, but Nese uses his technical ability to transition into a head scissors. Nese sends Gulak into the outside with the dropkick, but he fakes a suicide dive and then lands his signature cartwheel super kick spot. I love when he does that. He kicks Gulak back and he tosses him back. A vertical suplex with knife-edge chops from Nese. Gulak fires back with the alley-oop that drops Nese off the top rope. Backstage, Cedric Alexander is watching to see who he will be facing in the finals of the tournament. A nice sequence of encounters from both men. Gulak catches Nese into the Gulak, but instead of applying it, he nails Nese with a reverse suplex. Gulak targets Nese's knee, dropping multiple elbows and cranking it over his knee. Drew then wears Tony into the corner with the stomps. He claws at his face before nailing Tony with the more chops. Nese reverses an Irish whip and Gulak hits the turnbuckles hard. Nese builds up momentum up with a 3-hit combo, but Gulak slows him down with the knee and a suplex. Gulak will be yet another submission, but Nese powers out. A big flurry from Nese that includes a spinning heel kick and a jumping lariat. Nese picks up Gulak in the fireman's carry, and Gulak rakes his eyes. But Tony Nese catches him with the Northern Light suplex. Stiff big boots from Nese. Some trash talk, strikes from both men, but Nese misses his signature springboard moonsault, but instead lands on his feet. Hits him in the head with a kick. Split-legged moonsault from Tony Nese. For some reason, Nigel said that he thinks that he can get all of it, but when they showed the replay, it looks like he did get most of it. But Gulak, regardless, he still kicked out. So Gulak surprises Nese with a rare drop kick. He goes again for the Gulak. He went for the Gulak like 2 or 3 times in the match. But Nese rolls out and Gulak is prepared. He hits a powerbomb. And he hits another powerbomb, deadlift powerbomb. But Nese kicks out at 2. He goes in for a third powerbomb, but Nese lifts Gulak up and puts him on the top rope. Open palm strike, top rope Frankensteiner. Great spot there. Nese climbs in and he misses the 450. Gulak again goes for the finisher, but Nese continues to invade. A nice sequence of counters. Nese with the German suplex, suplexing Gulak into the corner. He goes for the running. Gulak moves. Huge lariat. The Gulak is in, but somehow Nese manages to roll over, and he uses the ropes to his advantage, and he pushes himself over to pick up the win. And Tony Nese picks up the win. So the finals are set for next week in the tournament. Cedric Alexander will be taking on Tony Nese, and the winner will be taking on Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania. That's going to be fucking good, man. It's going to be fucking good. Moving into NXT. The semifinals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic, along with a #1 contenders match for the NXT Women's title. We kick things off. Mustache Mountain taking on the Forgotten Sons in one of the semifinals match. The boys are looking strong tonight. Jackson Reichard's at ringside with Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. The Suns look good early, aggressively working over Bate. After a few minutes, Tyler is able to roll into his corner and tag in Trent Seven. Trent delivers the chops to both members of the Suns, then he delivers a big slam to Blake. However, Cutler is tagged and he chop blocks Tyler's left leg as Blake holds him into the place. Immediately, they go into work on Seven's knee. Morrow reminds us that his knee has caused him troubles prior. Blake logs in the figure 4. He and Seven take turns reversing it. It is Wesley Blake who then needs to grab to ropes, but Cutler tags in and continues targeting Trent's bad wheel. Some fight from Drake leads to a double clothesline. Both men tag out. I think I meant Blake, not Drake. I don't know why it says Drake there. In comes Bate, who's a house of fire. Back body drop to Blake. Drop kick to Cutler. Then Tyler gets both men on his shoulders. We all know Tyler Bate is a very, very strong boy. We all know that. Big, strong boy. That's what he's known for. But holy shit, whenever he does the fireman carry and he goes for the airplane spin, and he does it to both men, to two men, not just one man, but he does it to two men. Fucking freaky strength by Tyler Bate. He gets both men on his shoulders and airplane spins both of them. Then a double Frankensteiner. Absolutely insane. He hits a double Frankensteiner, double Hurricanrana on both Cutler and Blake. And I love what he did here. After he does that, he goes on the outside. He goes for the standing shooting star, but he misses it, and from the apron, and he somehow lands it on his feet. He moves out of the way, and then he grabs. I don't know if he grabbed Blake, and then he hit Cutler or whatever. But he grabs one of them and he literally tosses them with the Northern Light suplex, or the T-bone suplex rather, and he tosses Blake into Cutler, and then it was just great. And then he eventually hit the standing shooting star on the outside, so that was great. Bate goes into the top rope, but a corkscrew onto Blake. Cutler with the breakup. He tags in Trent Seven, but he's still favoring the injured leg. Lariat suplex combo. Trent goes in for the pin, but Jackson Riker puts Cutler's foot on the rope. Tyler with a big tope and then tags in. Trent can't hold up his man into a torture rack, but Bate is pushed off the top rope onto the floor into the Riker clothesline. Suns gets him back into the ring, hits a double team stomp reverse DDT for the win, and the Forgotten Sons advance into the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic Finals. Matt Riddle was interviewed by Kathy Kelly backstage, and he was interrupted by Adam Cole, baby, who claims he's going to get that North American title back. No, Mr. Cole, you're going to be going after the NXT title. There's no reason for you to go back for the North American title. That's long overdue now. It's time for Riddle and Velveteen Dream to go at it. You're going after the NXT title, baby. Riddle suggests that they continue this little powwow in the ring. And he issues a match next week with Adam Cole. I don't know if that's taking place next week or if that's taking place in the next couple of weeks, but I cannot wait to see what these two men do. Adam Cole and Matt Riddle. We get into the number one contenders match. Bianca Belair, Io Shirai. Shayna Baszler was on commentary. Io drop kicks Baszler. Io drop kicks Belair out of the ring early. She tries to follow up with the Rana, but Belair catches her and drops her face first onto the ring steps. She gets her back into the ring, lays the stomps into her. Io uses the double stomp to take back the advantage. A drop toe hold to Belair on the ropes, and then a 619. Follows up with the springboard dropkick. Double knees in the corner. Io toes to the top, but Belair knocks her down. Shirai gets caught into the trio bow, and Bianca whips her with her braid. She goes on top, and it's Io's who meets her this time. A big slap to the EST and the big-time Frankensteiner. Io back to the top already. Moonsault, but the knees are up. She hits the moonsault, but the knees are up. A spear from I don't know why I keep saying Baszler. Spear from Belair, but both women are down. All of a sudden, Baszler leaves commentary, and she drags Io out of the ring, causing a DQ, and locks in the Curfuda, that's what I meant to say, into Belair. No contest. Out comes Kairi Sane for the save, but she gets caught into the clutch instead, and she gets choked out. Shayna's wiping out all three women. Io in the back saving her friend Sane, but Big D then tosses the champ outside. She turns the 10 into Kairi, but Shayna right back and locks the Curfuda into Io. Video recap of a Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee match and the PC confrontation from last week. These two will go at it next week on NXT, and I cannot wait to see that. It's going to be great. I'd much rather have these guys fight on TakeOver than NXT, just so what it's like to have these guys in a TakeOver crowd. But, yeah, it's going to be really interesting what we see next week. But Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee. Backstage, Kathy Kelly was with Shayna Baszler, and she was apparently talking to William Regal, And Shayna said, or Shayna didn't want to hear it from anything that Kathy Kelly had to say. And then Kathy stated that William Regal made it official at TakeOver New York is going to be Shayna Baszler defending the NXT Women's title against not only Bianca Belair, but Io Shirai and Kairi Sane in a fatal 4-way match. That's going to be fucking great. Main event time, DIY with Ricochet and Aleister Black in the Dusty Classic semifinals match. The winner of this will be taking on the Forgotten Sons in the finals of the tournament, which will be taking place in 2 weeks. DIY comes out with their old music, just like last week, and they also came out with their old gear and their old T-shirts, which was, again, great. I love when old tag teams do that, and they just bring back the old memories from the classics when they were tag teams in the days. Back in the day, man. It was great to see DIY with their old gear back and their old T-shirts on. We start with Black and Ciampa. A knee and kick from Black doesn't even get him a 1 count. Then it's Ricochet and Johnny. Very even early, it's a Rana and a drop kick that allows Ricochet the advantage. Black and Rick pose into the ring as DIY groups outside. Tommaso distracts Ricochet as Johnny hits the spear off the top rope, allowing DIY to take the momentum. So it looked weird here because when Johnny went for the slingshot spear, it looked like Ricochet hit the slingshot DDT, or not the slingshot DDT, the corner DDT, apron DDT rather. I keep getting confused. It looked like Ricochet hit the apron DDT on Johnny the same time that Johnny hit the spear on Ricochet, but that's not what happened. So Tommaso distracts Ricochet as Johnny hits the spear off the top rope, allowing DIY to take the momentum and puts Ricochet in trouble. When Tommy's in the ring working on Ricochet, he looks back into Black and sits Indian style, angering the Devil's Blood. He can't do much about it though. He's forced to watch Ricochet undergo punishment. And Ricochet took most of this punishment in this match. Johnny stomps the left arm of Ricochet, the one and only in trouble for a while. Ricochet finally staves off DIY, but delivering his neckbreaker DDT combo. I love when he does that. He literally gets his he hits the neckbreaker, and then he's also hitting the DDT at the same time. So the person who's in the team with the other guy, he ends up DDTing his own partner. So he finally tags in Black. Aleister comes in hot, taking both members of the opposition. Gargano goes for the spear early after a kick in the back to the Black, but Black kicks him in the face and he hits a brain buster, but needs to be broken up by Tommaso Ciampa. He tags and hits the knee. DIY goes for the double team, but Ricochet pulls Johnny out. This is now breaking down. Ciampa hits the Heyman's neckbreaker on Black from the top rope, and then a DDT from Johnny. Gargano then locks in the Gargano escape on Aleister. Ricochet tries to break it up, but he's caught in with an armbar from Ciampa. Rick able to lift Tommy Entertainment up and drops onto Gargano, breaking the Gargano escape. The crowd is going crazy. Gargano, having trouble standing, has to crawl in to tag in Ciampa. Ciampa rolls out of the ring to check on Johnny because Johnny, I guess when Ricochet had Ciampa up and he dropped him right when Gargano had Black in the Gargano escape, I guess Ciampa supposedly landed on Gargano's left knee. So that's pretty much took Gargano out. It took Gargano out the rest of the match because it ended up costing him the win. So he then returns to the ring to find Ricochet, and the two exchange blows into the middle of the ring. This is an insane back and forth that ends with both men down. Johnny struggling to crawl back to the apron, but his leg is still bothering him, and he can't make it. Ciampa still has to go in alone. Black tags in. He escapes the fairy tale ending, hits the Black mass, tags in Ricochet with the beautiful 630 and the 1, 2, 3. Ricochet and Aleister Black are now taking on the Forgotten Sons in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic 2 weeks from NXT. And now it's set. Candice LeRae runs down to check on Johnny. Meanwhile, Ciampa sits on the ring apron. He gets down, walks to Johnny, and he and Candice help Gargano up. They slowly make their way up the ramp. All of a sudden, Johnny slips out of it and falls. As Ciampa tries to help him back up, it looks like he's about to toss Gargano into the LED board. Memories of TakeOver Chicago. So he tries to do that, but Gargano escapes. No pun intended. Gargano escapes out of it, and instead he's the one that tosses Ciampa into the LED board. Johnny uses his bad leg to stop him. I guess he wasn't really injured at all. And he tosses him into the LED board. And then instead he hits Ciampa with the big kick to the head. And Johnny and Candice stand over Ciampa as NXT goes off the air. And Johnny screams that Johnny Wrestling is back. it really sucks for Ciampa, man. If you guys haven't heard, video's up is right here. The video is up right here. I can't speak for shit today. Ciampa's out. He's going to be vacating the NXT title. They already announced it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we'll go over it once it is aired on TV. It's probably going to be up within like the next couple of weeks or so. But yeah, Ciampa had to vacate the NXT title, and we're going to be getting... I thought we were going to be getting a tournament. We're actually not. Instead, we're getting a Fatal 5-Way. But I'm not going to say who it's with. You'll have to find out for yourself. Unless you want to be spoiled and you want to just look up the spoilers yourself. But basically, Johnny Gargano is going to be in the finals of this. I don't know, it's not a tournament, but I call it a tournament because he's in the championship match. Because he was supposed to fight Tommaso Ciampa. It was scheduled to be Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano one last time at TakeOver New York for the NXT title. But being that Ciampa's out, Johnny's still in the match. So we're getting this Fatal 5-Way. And whoever wins this Fatal 5-Way is going to take on Johnny Gargano in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the vacant NXT title in the main event of NXT TakeOver New York. And I cannot wait to fucking see that. So we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys on my 205 Live NXT review. 205 Live, great fucking show. The match with Cedric Alexander and Oni Lorcan was fucking great. Again, I don't know why Nice and Gulak was the one that main evented the show. I guess they just wanted to change things up a bit. But next week we're getting Cedric Alexander and Tony Nese in the main event. The winner will be advancing to WrestleMania, taking on Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight title. Which I'm kind of hoping it's going to be Tony Nese because we've already seen Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy so many times. So it'll be nice to see Tony Nese in this situation rather than Cedric. And then for NXT, we have the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic Finals taking place in 2 weeks. Aleister Black and Ricochet taking on the Forgotten Sons. So, very looking forward to that. And along we got Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic on next week's NXT. So, there you have it, guys. If you enjoyed this review for 205 Live and NXT, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, RKO the like button out of nowhere. Tap the bell for notifications so you get all my future uploads. And yeah, that's it, lunatics. So until then, I will see you all in the next one. Too sweet.